take a deep breath and bring your awareness gently inward. As you rest, as you listen, allow your heart to open and receive the truth that has always been available to you. Your thoughts are not just passing clouds, they are creative forces. They sculpt your reality, they shape your body, and they influence your health more than most people realize. Every thought you think sends a signal, not just into the outer world, but deep into the tissues, cells, and systems of your body. You are not separate from your thoughts. You live inside them. They are the blueprint from which your body builds its responses. And for many of us, those blueprints have been clouded by criticism, judgment, shame, or fear. Science and spirituality now walk hand in hand to support what mystics and healers like myself have always known. There is no split between mind and body. When you hold a thought of unworthiness, your body contracts. When you repeat an affirmation of love, your nervous system calms. These aren't metaphors. These are measurable reactions. Cortisol levels change. Hormonal balance shifts. The body listens, so what happens when you say to yourself day after day, I hate my body, or I'm not enough, or I wish I looked different? Your body hears it as a command. It internalizes the belief and begins to reflect that energy. The immune system weakens. Muscles hold tension, the skin dulls. You are not only thinking thoughts, you are planting seeds. And if the soil of your mind is toxic, the garden of your body cannot thrive. But here is the miracle. The moment you become aware, you have the power to choose a different thought. You can begin again. You can say instead, I am willing to love my body, or my body is my friend, or even just, I am open to healing. And that tiny shift creates a new signal, one of peace, of compassion, of regeneration. You begin to soften. The body receives that message as safety. It begins to repair, to rest, to restore itself. This is not about perfection. This is not about denying discomfort or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It's about becoming conscious of how you speak to yourself, because your body is always listening. If you constantly live in fear or judgment, the body will armor itself. If you live in love and patience, the body will open. This is the wisdom of the body, not just a biological machine, but a living, sensing, emotional intelligence that mirrors your inner world. I want you to remember this. You are not your illness. You are not your weight. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your past. You are the thinker of your thoughts, and you are allowed to think new ones. You are allowed to believe that you are healing. You are allowed to believe that your body is capable of miracles. Right now, in this moment, even as you sleep, even as you drift, you can plant seeds of love. You can water your body with gentle words. You can say, I love you, I trust you, I am listening, and over time those words become your reality. They become the air your cells breathe. The mind and body are not separate. They are one expression of the same energy, the energy of life, the energy of love. When you speak to your body with kindness, it will speak back to you in strength, in balance, in beauty. So, as you drift deeper into this meditation, let this truth settle into the deepest part of you. Your body becomes what your mind believes. Let your beliefs be loving. Let your words be medicine. Let your thoughts be your first step toward healing. It's astonishing how casually we speak to ourselves, how thoughtlessly we repeat cruel phrases that we would never say to someone we love. Yet we say them to our bodies every single day. You're too fat. You're not attractive. You've let me down. These words, so normalized in our internal dialogue, are not harmless. They leave marks, not visible, but deeply felt. Self-criticism has become an unconscious habit, one that often masquerades as self-improvement. Many people believe that if they are just hard enough on themselves, they'll finally change. That if they punish the body with enough disgust, they'll be motivated to eat better, move more, or live healthier. But this belief is not only false, it's dangerous, because self-criticism is a form of self-harm, and like all harm, it creates resistance, fear, and fragmentation. You cannot shame your body into healing. You cannot bully it into love. The body, like a sensitive child, does not respond to harshness. It responds to warmth, to patience, to safety. Every time you scold your appearance in the mirror, your nervous system tightens. Your breath shortens, your muscles brace. This is not motivation, this is trauma. And over time, your body begins to believe that it is not safe in your own mind, not safe in your own skin. When we criticize ourselves, we disconnect from the body's innate intelligence. We lose touch with the signals it sends, the gentle cues it gives us every day, when to rest, when to move, what to eat, how to nourish. Criticism drowns out that wisdom. It's like static over a radio channel. The deeper voice of intuition can't come through. But when you replace criticism with curiosity, judgment with gentleness, something shifts. You start to hear your body again. You notice when you're truly hungry, not just emotionally triggered. You feel the difference between fatigue and apathy. You learn to distinguish the voice of fear from the voice of truth, and this awareness, this reconnection, becomes the foundation of real transformation. This is not about ignoring your desire to grow or improve. On the contrary, it's about choosing a path that is sustainable and rooted in self-respect. Real change never comes from hate. Real, lasting change blooms from compassion. Just as a plant needs sunlight and clean water, your body needs loving attention. Not discipline through disgust, not change through shame, but healing through hope. And this, I believe, is one of the greatest acts of courage: to stop waging war on yourself, to lay down the weapons of judgment and instead hold yourself with reverence, to say, I'm learning, to say, I am enough even as I grow. That is not weakness, that is emotional maturity. That is the beginning of self-liberation. The way you speak to yourself is the atmosphere you live in. If you want your body to thrive, the air it breathes must be kind. And so I invite you in this quiet moment to notice the tone of your inner voice. Is it loving? Is it patient? If not, let's not scold that either. Just observe it and begin to soften. Say gently, even silently, I am learning to speak to myself with love. Let it be a new mantra. Let it be the new default. Because when love becomes the voice inside your mind, healing becomes the language of your body. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be whole. And wholeness begins when you stop treating yourself like a problem to fix, and begin treating yourself like a soul to nurture. Every part of your body carries a story, a message, a memory. Your body is not random in its design or its responses. It is deeply intelligent, symbolic, and interconnected. If you are willing to listen, it will tell you everything you need to know about how you are truly feeling, what you have not yet healed, and what you may still be holding on to. The body doesn't lie. For example, the shoulders often carry burdens. How often do you hear someone say they feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders? That's not just an expression. It's a reflection of emotional truth being stored physically. Or consider the stomach, which tends to tighten when we're anxious. That's not merely digestion, it's emotion showing up as sensation. The lower back, so often in pain, often relates to a sense of lack of support, financial or emotional. The body maps our emotional experience with stunning precision. Louise Hay taught that physical symptoms are often the last place our emotions show up. The final destination, long before the ache, there was often a thought, a belief, a pattern that quietly shaped our inner landscape. These beliefs, when not addressed, solidify in the tissues of the body, and that is why healing must happen on more than just a physical level. When you experience pain or tension or illness, instead of immediately trying to silence it or numb it, try asking a different question. Try saying, "What are you trying to show me? What belief have I been carrying that no longer serves me? Is there something I've refused to feel that my body is now expressing for me?" These aren't always comfortable questions, but they are liberating ones. They return you to the position of power. They remind you that you are not a helpless victim of your body. You are in relationship with it. And like any relationship, communication is key. You see, every symptom is a message. The body doesn't punish, it only tries to get your attention. And when you listen with love rather than fear, the body feels heard, and often that's when the healing begins. Let's imagine your throat is always tight, you lose your voice or it aches often. Perhaps instead of assuming it's just strain or dryness, you explore, have I been silencing myself? Have I been afraid to speak my truth? That tenderness in your throat might be an invitation to express, to release, to speak up. Or maybe your legs are heavy, always aching. The question then becomes, where am I afraid to move forward? What path am I resisting? Suddenly, your body becomes not a battleground, but a wise and loyal guide. When we approach the body with curiosity, we shift out of victimhood and into awareness. And with awareness, we can choose. We can speak words of affirmation not just at random, but with deep relevance. If your heart feels tight, affirm love. If your stomach is upset, affirm peace and safety. If your feet ache, affirm support and direction. This is how affirmation becomes medicine, not abstract but embodied. Your body wants to be in harmony with you. It wants to be well. It wants to thrive, but it also needs to be heard. So tonight, as you rest, allow your awareness to gently travel through your body. Not to judge it, not to fix it, but simply to acknowledge it, to say, I hear you, I love you, I am listening. The body speaks a language older than words, yet wiser than logic. When you learn to listen, healing no longer becomes a mystery, it becomes a conversation. Loving affirmations are not mere words. They are instruments of transformation, tools that reshape how you see yourself, how you relate to your body, and ultimately how your body functions and heals. They may seem simple on the surface, but their impact runs deep, especially when repeated with consistency, belief, and presence. You see, your subconscious mind is always listening. It does not judge. It does not argue. It simply absorbs. When you tell yourself something over and over, whether loving or critical, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. And once that internal belief takes hold, your behavior shifts, your emotions follow, and your body responds. Affirmations are not magic because they create something out of thin air. They are powerful because they plant seeds into the deepest soil of your being, and from there everything begins to grow. Now, many people try affirmations once or twice and say, it didn't work, but affirmations are not quick fixes. They are a form of mental and emotional conditioning. Just as you wouldn't expect to build physical muscle with a single push-up, you can't expect years of self-criticism to vanish with a single loving sentence. Healing through affirmation is a process of repetition, of gentleness, and of trust. When you say to yourself, I love my body, or I am healthy, whole, and at peace, your logical mind may resist. It might say that's not true, and that's okay. The goal is not to argue with the resistance, but to let the loving thought exist anyway. Over time, that resistance softens, and then something remarkable happens. The affirmation becomes believable. It begins to feel like your own thought. That's the shift. That's the healing. You might not realize it, but the mind is suggestible, especially when relaxed. This is why affirmations become even more powerful when spoken during times of lowered mental resistance, like early in the morning, before sleep, or in a meditative state. These moments open the gateway to the subconscious. In these quiet hours, the affirmations seep deeper, beyond the surface, into the inner fabric of your identity. This is where real healing begins. You're not forcing yourself to believe something fake. You're offering your mind an upgraded version of the truth. You're replacing inherited beliefs about your worth, your appearance, your limitations, with conscious ones that are rooted in love. That's not denial, that's reprogramming, and it's important to remember. Your body responds to the emotional tone of your thoughts. If your inner voice is full of fear, shame, and anger, your body stays in a state of stress. But if your inner voice begins to speak gently, affirming safety, beauty, and love, the body responds in kind. Muscles release tension, the heart opens, the breath deepens, systems rebalance. This is not just philosophy, it's physiology. So the next time you look in the mirror, pause. Look not just with your eyes, but with compassion. Instead of finding flaws, offer thanks. Say, I love and accept you exactly as you are. Speak it aloud, even if it feels awkward at first. Let the words become familiar. Let them become yours. You are always speaking to your body, whether you realize it or not. The question is, what message are you sending? Let it be one of love. Let it be one of kindness, because the words you speak to yourself shape the world you live in. In the end, every affirmation is a bridge between the life you've lived and the life you are choosing to create. Walk that bridge with grace, speak to yourself with reverence, and let your body become the mirror of yourself, love. So often, we believe healing is something that happens only through medicine, through surgery, through external intervention. And while those tools are sometimes necessary, they are not the full story. True healing begins within. It begins with your willingness to forgive, to release, to soften, because healing at its core is not just a physical journey, it is an emotional one. And without emotional healing, the body remains in a cycle of protection, contraction, and stress. You see, every hurt we've ever carried, every disappointment, every betrayal that went unprocessed, these live in the body. They create tension in the muscles, inflammation in the tissues, stagnation in the energy flow. Over time, these unresolved emotions don't just affect how we feel emotionally. They affect how we function physically. This is not abstract. This is the silent conversation between mind and body that takes place every moment of our lives. When we hold on to resentment, for instance, the body doesn't feel safe enough to rest deeply. When we live in guilt, our immune system subtly weakens. When we feel unworthy, we unconsciously sabotage our own wellness. The emotional roots may vary, but the result is always the same: disconnection from the body's natural rhythm of healing. But here is the beautiful truth: just as emotions can wound, they can also restore. Love is not just a feeling, it is a healing frequency. When you bathe your body in love, forgiveness, and acceptance, you are not ignoring the pain, you are transforming it. You are offering your body a new context, a space where it no longer has to defend, hide, or brace. Instead, it can open. It can trust. It can begin to repair. Forgiveness is a particularly powerful force in this process. And not just forgiveness of others, but of yourself. So many people walk through life burdened by regrets. I shouldn't have done that. I should have taken better care of myself. I should have known better. These thoughts may seem harmless, but they create an inner climate of shame. And shame is one of the most toxic emotions we can carry. It suppresses joy, weakens the immune system, and keeps the body locked in survival mode. To forgive yourself is to declare, I am human. I did the best I could with what I knew, and I am allowed to start over. That is not weakness. That is emotional intelligence. That is the beginning of freedom, and freedom is the foundation of healing. So I encourage you to look gently at the emotional weight you may be carrying. Is there someone you still resent? Is there a version of yourself you haven't yet made peace with? You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to force forgiveness, but you can become willing. That willingness is everything. That willingness tells the body it's safe now. We're not stuck in the past anymore. We are here in this moment, choosing a new path. Tonight, as you rest, imagine each breath as a wave of release. Inhale peace, exhale the weight, inhale acceptance. Exhale judgment, let every exhale be a soft letting go, not because you are forgetting, but because you are healing. Your body remembers everything, but it also responds to your present intention. It listens when you say, I am ready to feel free. And with that simple declaration, with that single thought rooted in love, the healing begins. Let this be your new affirmation. Asterisk, I release the past with love. I allow my body to heal in peace. Asterisk, say it slowly, say it often, say it with the reverence your body deserves. Because healing is not something you chase, it's something you allow. The moment you choose to love your body unconditionally, exactly as it is, something extraordinary begins to happen. Not just emotionally, but spiritually. You enter into alignment. Alignment is not about achieving perfection. It's about bringing your thoughts, feelings, and actions into harmony with your highest truth. And that truth is this: you are already whole, you always have been, when you're aligned with love. True, unwavering self-love. Your body begins to respond like a flower turning toward the sun. Systems regulate, emotions settle, your energy field expands, not because you've fixed everything externally, but because you've shifted internally. The most powerful transformation doesn't come from struggle. It comes from surrender, surrendering the old narratives, the inherited beliefs, the comparisons, the shame. When you surrender those, you make space for something much deeper, a sense of inner peace. This peace is not passive. It is not the absence of effort. It's a stillness rooted in self-respect, a quiet certainty that you don't need to earn your worth. You only need to remember it. And remembering doesn't happen in one grand moment. It's a practice. It happens each time you choose compassion over criticism, presence over perfection, breath over burnout. This is why affirmations are not just mental exercises. They are energetic recalibrations. When you affirm, "I love and accept my body," you are not pretending that every part of you feels perfect. You are aligning your intention with love, which allows your body to feel safe, seen, and supported. That alignment fosters vitality, not through pressure but through presence. Now here's the deeper invitation. Allow this alignment to guide how you live your daily life, how you feed yourself, how you rest, how you move. Don't just treat self-love as a concept. Let it shape your routines, your choices, your boundaries. Ask yourself often, does this choice align with how I would treat someone I truly love? And if the answer is no, gently choose again. Without guilt, without force, just with love. You see, alignment isn't rigid, it's fluid. Some days it looks like nourishing food and joyful movement. Other days it looks like stillness and silence. Both are valid, both are sacred. Because when you are living in alignment, you stop chasing a certain image or ideal. You start honoring the truth of the moment, and in that truth you find liberation. Living in alignment also means honoring your body as an ally, not a project to fix, but a partner to cherish. It means speaking kindly even when things feel off. It means choosing environments and people that reflect the love you are cultivating within. And it means protecting your peace not out of fear, but out of reverence for the healing that is taking place in you. So tonight, as you lie down to rest, allow yourself to settle into this alignment. Feel your body supported by the surface beneath you. Feel your breath, slow and steady, anchoring you in the now, and remind yourself, I am allowed to be at peace in my body. I am allowed to live from love. I am allowed to feel whole now. Wholeness is not a destination. It's a decision to stop waiting until you're different to love yourself, a decision to trust that the body you have today is worthy of kindness, tenderness, and deep appreciation. Let this be your reflection. When you align with love, everything in your life begins to reflect that love back to you. Your health, your relationships, your joy, it all flows from that inner commitment. Choose that alignment now, and let your life become the mirror of your healing.